There's a lot going on, a lot of breaking things, a lot of contextual things, and you're always here in the right place at the right time. And I want to thank you for that as well. Well, let's get right into this. It's all over the place, and I want to address it myself. We've talked about this over the months and really over the years. But the Democrat Party has really, as in so many ways, a criminal enterprise. When in power, has taken our immigration laws and rejected them. Even worse, they've taken them and they've rewritten them with invisible ink. So that up is down and down is up. Trying to find ways to import aliens, foreigners from all over the world, even if they're out of terrorist states, into our country, who they know will not assimilate. They don't even know who they are. Sending huge airlines out to bring them back to the United States in the cover of dark until they were found. Now this is, this is, it's more than satanic, which is sort of a mental state or a spiritual state. This is an entity that hates America, the Democrat Party. What do they stand for? They throw around these slogans, these shibboleths, about equality and affordability, but what do they do to the country when they're in power? And what do they try to do when they're not in power? Immigration is a big deal. It was debated at length at our founding. It's debated in every generation. It's debated by every administration. If you want amnesty, you got to get it approved by Congress. There you go. But when you're the president of the United States, it's funny how they talk about how Trump has abused the presidency. No, he hasn't. The Obama sycophants, the people who worked under the radar, behind the scenes, destroying our country, radical, hardcore radical leftists, much like Mondani. He had plenty of people like that on his staff in this massive bureaucracy, over 3,000 political appointees. Look what they've done to our country in a short period of time. And Donald Trump's not going to be president forever, and the Republicans aren't going to troll every branch of government forever, and they're going to do it again, which I think will be the knife in the heart. We have things going on in this country where we have Marxist Islamists in our country who are now scheming to create communities in red states, targeting number 1, Texas, and now number 2, Florida. The way they've changed in many respects, parts of New Jersey, parts of Virginia, parts of Michigan. It's taking place right under our eyes. It's taking place right now. What will the next generation say about us? What will the generation after that say? And how will they even live? Barbara Ladine is a dear friend of mine in the family. Her husband, Michael Ladine, was a great hero, a scholar, a public man in so many ways, and a dear friend, too. He wrote this: "Future historians will have to unravel the mystery of our remarkable refusal to fight back against an enemy that never hid its intention to destroy or dominate us and impose a clerical fascism that is the antithesis of freedom." Let me repeat what Michael Ladine said. "Future historians will have to unravel the mystery of our remarkable refusal to fight back against an enemy that never hid its intention to destroy or dominate us and impose a clerical fascism that is the antithesis of freedom." What's happening is you have imams and others, organizations like CARE, strategically determining where people should be located, how to create Sharia-compliant communities, majority Islamist communities. There is absolutely no interest in assimilating into American society. It's about conquering America. Now, you know full well, those of you who have listened to this program over the decades, that I've talked about this for years. Others say they have. They never have. They had no guts whatsoever. Now it's reached a point where we're getting close to a point of no return. If we do not succeed in the next 3 years of Donald Trump, we will not succeed in reversing this. We will not. Our laws, our judiciary, our funding of non-governmental organizations, the twisting and turning of our Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights, are where the Islamists hide, are where the Marxists hide. And they wave around our Constitution while behind our backs they spit on it. People come into our country from Somalia. They settle in a cluster in Minneapolis, most of whom are recent immigrants to this country, many of whom are illegal. They have enormous numbers of children. They do not assimilate into this country. They're here to rip us off, to steal from us. It's an entire culture in Somalia, and we're allowed to talk about it, and we must talk about it. We must have the guts to confront it. Not because these people are one skin color or another, or from one continent or another. That's the culture in that destructive country. That's what it is. And now it's here. And now people are trying to intimidate me and you to prevent us from talking about it. You must be a racist, an Islamophobe. I'm sick and tired of people in this country being called racists who literally aren't racists. I get it with the neo-fascists. They are racists. They are bigots. They are Jew haters. They are Christian haters. They're American haters who wrap themselves in the American flag. We know about them. We've talked about them, and we won't stop. But that's not my point today. You, Mr. and Mrs. America, you don't have a racist bone in your body. You are not a bigot. You are welcoming. You pay your taxes. You subsidize people. You don't even know who the hell they are. And this is what you get for it. I wrote the book, The Democrat Party Hates America. It's the longest book I ever wrote, and it could have been 10 volumes. One volume. You look throughout American history, the Democrat Party, especially about 30 years after the founding, has been nothing but a cancer on the body politic. Nothing but. From slavery to segregation to eugenics to Jim Crow, now to embracing and promoting Marxism and Islamism. Never Americanism. Never Americanism. And you're seeing the consequences. Minnesota's a Democrat state. Minneapolis is a Democrat city. This is why I was repulsed a few months back, well before the holidays, when I would hear Republicans say on our favorite network and talk radio and elsewhere, hey, let Mondami win in New York. Then people will see what it's like and will run against them. They don't understand that when these folks get a foothold, the Islamists, the Marxists, they don't stop by honoring city boundaries or borough boundaries or state boundaries. The goal is to conquer. It's conquest of their other faiths over the West, over our constitutional republic. The goal is not coexistence. How do I know? They tell us this. They write about it. Of course, I'm not talking about every Muslim. And if you're a Muslim listening to this program and you disagree with this, I'm not talking about you, am I? People who embrace Americanism, our culture, good. The more the merrier. But that's not what's happening. And at the front end, that is where that determination needs to be made. Once they're here, catch me if you can, get in front of a left-wing judge, and on and on and on. It becomes very complicated and daunting. Very complicated and daunting. I've told you over and over again, the Democrat Party believes that you must have allegiance not to the country, but to the Democrat Party. They use this as the Marxists use it. In China and all these other communist regimes, you're the general secretary of the party, first and foremost. That's where the power is. And then you control the country. You're the president of a country, you're the leader of a country, because you're the general secretary of the party. And that's where the power is. The chairman of the party, the general secretary of the party, the Politburo of the party, that's where the power is. All the rest of it is window dressing. All the rest of it. Well, it's the same with the Democrat Party. People say, how is it that they stick together? How is it that they march lockstep? How is it that they say the same things? Because their mindset is not the same as your mindset or my mindset. Their mindset is not the mindset of a free people. It is the mindset of a power-hungry elite. They say the same thing. They do the same thing. They are the same thing. Because they're Democrats. Democrats first, Americans second. That's right, I said it. Democrats first, Americans second.